Yo, thank you for 1K, guys. Let's go. Road to 2K. And so,
Taking shit from his boss, but he thinks he's doing just fine. Don't you think your life is more than just some dollars and fries? Every single person I know could be so much more than a check, so much more than a grade, so much more than a test. I stress, been trying to run with the best. I feel the weight on my chest, school got me going in debt. Don't wanna live to
Naruto will be the grandson of Tsunade, and Kushina will be the daughter of Tsunade, and Minato will be half Uzumaki and half Namikaze. And so, let's get into it. And so, Naruto at age 6 figures out in the scroll hidden in his apartment that he is the son of the fourth Hokage and Kushina. And so Naruto decides to go to the Namikaze Uzumaki residence, and he figures out everything in tick scrolls. And so then Tsunade hears of Naruto, and she gets angry at Danzo. And so Naruto's about to leave the leaf, but then he runs into his grandmother. And then they both hug each other instantly. Naruto says, "Hi, Grandma." And she nods. "Hi, Naruto. Where are you going this late?" And he says, "I don't want to be in this village anymore." And she says, "Naruto, where you gonna go?" And he says, "My mom told me in a scroll about Uzukage. I want to go there and rebuild our clan and find another Uzumaki." And Tsunade nods and says, "I'll go with you, Naruto, and train you." And Naruto smiles. And so, for 4 years, Tsunade had been training Naruto, and luckily Naruto has gotten good chakra control. And so, Tsunade gives training Naruto on her strength and her medical ninjutsu, and Naruto is a prodigy at that. And Tsunade told him what her grandmother told her. She says, "There's a difference between a genius and a prodigy, Naruto. A genius is a person who can figure stuff out quickly, wants to learn jutsu but doesn't master jutsu. But a prodigy is a person who masters all the jutsu they learned. And once they master the jutsu, they can be nearly unstoppable." And Naruto says, okay. So, if I master a jutsu, I can be unstoppable. And Tsunade says, yes. Like one of the 7 swordsmen, Zabuza, he has a D rank jutsu, but he turned it into basically an S rank because what he does with the jutsu. And Naruto says, nods and says, "Okay, Grandma. Okay, Bachan." And so she says, "Naruto, we need to start hiring workers. Do you have any money or anything?" And Naruto says, "Oh yeah, my father and my mother saved money for it." And he says, "It's only 100 million Rio, but it should start up." And Tsunade is just mind boggled. It's just, oh my. And so she says, "Naruto, we will start building the village, and I'll have Jiraiya start training you, and I will be the temporary Hokage till you get strong enough to be the temporary Uzukage." And he says, "Okay, Bachan." And so Tsunade starts asking smaller villages and stuff to help out their village, and starts forming alliances, and they start getting supplies, and she starts learning more. Tsunade starts to learn more Fuin Jutsu and stuff, and she figures out Minato's old teammate is somewhere, and he is a skilled Fuin Jutsu user, and he is also skilled in Kenjutsu. And so she asks Minato's teammate, hold up, let me look at his teammate, but Tsunade starts learning more and more. Oh, Haruka or Yushi. He comes to the village and starts to train Naruto in Fu and Jutsu of sorts. And Naruto makes a jutsu called the Security Seal and the Whirlpool Seal. And so it's a seal that only people from the Whirlpool that live in there can use it to get in and out. And also the Security Seal is all non-residents of Uzukage cannot enter the village. And so Naruto asks Jiraiya, can we head out to see if Orochimaru has an Uzumaki? And luckily they find a girl and they take her. And so Naruto has gotten close with this girl. And so they start dating. And so Tsunade watches Karin saying, whatever you do, I'm watching you. And so Karin gulps. And she's learning medical ninjutsu from Tsunade. And so Naruto is at age 12 and Tsunade sends him to the Land of Waves because she heard that Zabuza of the Mist is there. And she tells Naruto, take that Zabuza Momochi sword. Land Akiri back in the day took some of the Uzumaki's medals from attacking them from one of the because they gained up on the Uzumaki, and it's based on the Uzumaki swords. And so Naruto nods and gets ready. And so he is at age 12 right now. He is Jonin level. He has the Bakugo seal with a diamond shaped in the middle of his forehead. And he has the Rasengan and toads and the slugs. And he is also has a blue attire with an Uzugakure headband. And nobody knows of this village. And this is the first mission that they ever done. Well, it's technically not a mission. It's more like a quest, you could say. And so Naruto is all by himself, and he is Jonin level. And so Tsunade says, once you become a high Kage level stronger than me, I will make you Uzukage. And so Naruto smiles at his grandma. And so Jiraiya is also watching Naruto, making sure nothing really happens to him or anything of the sorts. And Naruto has up to 2 tails, so he should be fine because he's been training with Kurama, and Kurama felt bad for the boy on what happened for his childhood. And Naruto does have some wood release techniques, and so he should be fine. And so he meets Team 7 on the bridge, and so he sees Kakashi and them nearly knocked out. And so Naruto quickly gets behind Zabuza, slashes Zabuza in half because he has killed somebody before on like a quest for money and stuff, of course, because 100 Rio isn't enough to restart a whole village. It's just enough for Naruto to like start it up kind of. And so Naruto does it, shedding a tear. And so then he asks Haku to want to come to this village, and Haku nods, not having anything to do, and felt Naruto's ninja way and respecting him. And so Kakashi says, hey, wait. You have to come back to the Leaf Village. We've been looking for you, Naruto. And Naruto looks at Kakashi and says, why did you not tell me that my father was Minato Namikaze or Minato Uzumaki Namikaze? And Kakashi says, Lord Third couldn't tell you. It's a top secret thing. How'd you find out? And Naruto says, shut up, Hatake. I don't want to hear it. And so Kakashi looks down, sad. And so Sasuke says, hey, wait. How are you so strong? And Naruto says, do you know Tsunade Senju? One of the legendary Sanin? And he nods. He says, Naruto says before leaving, yeah, that's my grandma. And then Shin swings away with Haku and the executioner blade, pumping chakra into it so he could have it in his hands. And so he gets back and says, oh, hi, Grandma. And she says, how did the mission go? And he said, it went good. We also got a person from the Yuki clan. And she says, oh, that's good. And so she says, we're going to start building the academy. And so it's good for us to make our village. And she says, we have about 100 civilians and 20 ninjas. And so we're trying to get more ninjas. And he says, okay. And so Naruto starts going to villages, helping them out, and gets tons of alliances and tons of samurais and ninjas. And from the land of iron, Naruto, or the guy there, gives Naruto 200 samurais for his village. And Naruto has implanted some Uzumaki blood into everybody who goes there, because he, from the dead Uzumaki there, so that it's like a jutsu that the Uzumaki made to purify blood or to pump chakra to any non-Uzumaki clan member. And this is to make sure that whoever's there has Uzumaki blood. And so everybody there does have Uzumaki blood. And Naruto has gotten tons of jutsu. And so Naruto can seal or can take chakra from Biju and stuff too. And so that's good for him. And so now he's 12. And so he's high Jonin level Lokage. And so Tsunade has opened up their village to the shinobi world. And they have 200 shinobi there. They have a lot of money. And they have an academy and everything of sorts. And Lord Third heard that his students Tsunade and Jiraiya is helping Naruto make this village. And he's sad, but he's happy for the boy. And Danzo has requested to go there, but every time Danzo had his Anbu try to go there, they always don't come back. See, the thing is, once a person sets foot that's non-Uzumaki, they made a seal that once you cross past there or break through their first barrier, once they get to the actual village, the non-Uzumaki bloods shall burn the boss. See, so their body can't take a certain temperature. So they made the climate so hot that only Uzumakis can take it, or, yeah. And so, it's hot for Uzumakis, but they have their own cooling system in their bloods. So, it tastes like, it feels warm to them. And so, now Naruto's going to the Chunin exams with a team with Fu and another ninja. And the Jonin sensei is Roshi. And so they head to the village, and Naruto heads there, and Naruto is wearing a blue shirt and has black Anbu pants and is just Naruto. And so he arrives there. Oh, and Karin is one of them. Yeah, Karin is the other one. And so Naruto arrives there, and people look at him like saying, "That's Naruto," and they're like, "The demon brat has returned," and Naruto just ignores them and saying, "Stupid villagers. That's why I'm making a village that makes it. That's peace." And Kairin looks at Naruto in amazement, thinking he's so cool. And Fu just smiles. And so, it's the first exam, and Sasuke puts in Naruto Uzumaki. And Kabi says, "Naruto Uzumaki." And he says, and nothing pops up. And he says, "What, a blank card?" And he says, and Sasuke says, what, why doesn't it show him?" And Kabuto says, "I guess Naruto is this Naruto guy's secret." And so Sasuke gets angry, but then sees him and says, "It's him." And so then Naruto says, "Oh, what, who?" And so Sasuke says, "You're the person who killed Zabuza Momochi." And Naruto says, "What are you talking about?" And Sasuke says, "I'm not dumb. You have his sword on your back." Naruto says, "Oh, dumb am I, right?" And Sasuke just scoffs at Naruto. And Naruto says, "What's wrong with him?" And then Fu just says, "I don't know." And so Naruto just shrugs and heads inside for the first test, and Naruto easily passes it. And so now it's the second part of the exams, and Naruto uses one jutsu that Jiraiya taught him and says, "Use this in the exam to pass it faster than your father." I just want to see that happen, and I want to see Minato in the heavens smiling. And so Naruto smiles back at Jiraiya and says, "Okay." And so he places a high machine on the sound trio, and Fu knocks them all out with her bugs, and they take their scrolls and just dip. And so they pass the exam, and so in the first round, in the preliminaries now, Naruto is standing there, and it says Naruto Uzumaki versus Kiba and Uzuka. And Kiba says, "Yes, let's go." I have the random guy. And so Naruto shrugs and says, "Okay, let's get this over with." And so Kiba says, "I bet you're just a random person that nobody knows about." And Kiba says, "Like, what is even that village?" And Naruto gets angry. And Naruto says, I'm a member of the Uzumaki clan." And Kiba says, "What clan's that? I bet it's a weak clan." And Naruto says, "Big talk for a dog. And their only good jutsu is probably using their dogs." And then Naruto looks at Akamaru and says, "Oh, hi, little guy." And Akamaru whimpers, feeling Naruto's chakra levels and how strong he is. And Kiba's like, "What's wrong, little guy? He's just a weak." And so then Naruto punches Kiba in the mouth and says, "Don't ever call me weak." And so then Kiba growls and says, "Let's go, Akamaru." And they do fang over fang. And Naruto scoffs, saying, and Izuka techniques. And so then Naruto dodges and says, "Water style, water dragon jutsu." And they're like, "How? There's no water nearby." And he really thinks like the second Hokage. And so then a water dragon hits Kiba. And then Naruto says, "Wood style, wood cage jutsu." And so Naruto does not care because he's not part of the leaf, so it don't matter. And so then Hiru's like, "What? He has the first and second Hokage's techniques?" And so then everybody's surprised. And then when Kiba passes out, Sasuke yells, "Who are you?" And everybody wonders that too. Even the Jonin do. And they ask, "Who are you, Naruto. And Naruto and Lord Third think, no, don't Naruto. And then Naruto says, oh. And then looks at Hiruzen angry. I am the son of the of the fourth Hokage, and people gasp. And then Sasuke yells, how do you have Mokuton? And the second Hokage's water release that can use the minerals in the air and shoot at people. And Naruto says, oh, that. I'm just Tsunade's grandson. And people gasp, and then they scream in outrage, saying, why aren't you in the leaf? And then Naruto says, oh, I left the leaf. It's nowhere for a person to be. And so they all get mad. And Sasuke says, I am an Uchiha elite. I am better than you, Senju. And Naruto says, you can call me whatever you want, but I'ma just go up to the stands. If you have a problem with that, we can fight. And then suddenly out killer attempt. And then everybody freezes. Even the Jonin do. And so Hiruzen says, calm down, Naruto Uzumaki, or you'll get disqualified. And Naruto says, some for you to talk. And so Naruto passes, and Jiraiya says, Naruto, want to learn some more of your father's techniques? And Naruto says, cool. And he says, can I learn the next up of Harashina? And Jiraiya says, you beat me to it, Naruto. And so Naruto masters the Harashina, and Jiraiya gives Naruto the summoning of the Uzumaki clan. And he says, Naruto, I wanted to be given this to you for a while, but I've never had the time to. And so it's the ape summoning. The apes have always protected the Uzumaki clan, but they didn't have the time to in the First Great Shinobi War. They were ruled by Enma, the Monkey King, but then they disbanded from Enma by overpowering him, and they defected from the Monkey King. And so now the apes have now protected the Uzumaki clan and vowed to protect them. And so Naruto nods, and so he asks, so what now? And he says, summon one of them. And Jiraiya says, why does he have to summon the Ape King? And so it's a big ape with 3 tails. And he says, what do you want? And this is, oh, my bad, Uzumaki. And then bows down to Naruto. And Naruto asks, why are you bowing down to me? And Jiraiya says, the apes are sorry for what they have done. They felt as they sinned against the Uzumaki clan for being so kind to them. And so he says, sorry, Uzumaki-sama. And so he says, I can train you for 2 weeks till your battle against the Hyuga, correct? And Naruto smiles and nods. And he says, oh, let's go to Uzukage and train. And Jiraiya follows with him. And so he's training Naruto lava release and more strong attacks, making Naruto much stronger. And so the ape says, okay, Naruto-sama, good luck, and become Chunin and make us proud, Uzumaki-sama. And then Naruto goes away. And so it's the first match, and Neji says, no matter what, your destiny has already shown, and you shall lose to me. And Naruto says, well, I don't care about this destiny, nor I care about the Hyuga. Want to know why? Because I left. And Neji says, you're just a stupid traitor. And Naruto says, actually, I'm not a traitor. I wasn't a ninja of the leaf, and so I shall not be a missing nin, so you can't attack me because I wasn't a ninja of the leaf, and so I am therefore fine. And so Donzo and Lord Third both know this, and so they both know that they can't really do anything to Naruto because he wasn't a missing nin because he was never a ninja at that time. And so they get angry at that. And they're trying to look in the rules to see what they can do, but they have found nothing at this moment. And so now Naruto is fighting Neji, and so he's punching and dodging hits. And so Neji is saying, "How are you dodging my points and my stuff?" And Naruto says, "Oh, that's easy. I'm just using a Uzumaki Taijutsu. You guys haven't seen it in a while." And so Neji gets angry and tries to do 64 bumps. Naruto substitutes and says, "Wood style. Wood binding jutsu." And then it binds Neji. And so then Naruto then places a hand on Neji and says, Uzumaki ceiling. Two-prong seal. And so then it's a prong seal. It was on Neji's forehead. And it overpowered the other seal. And so Neji's seal has gone away from his other seal. And so Naruto releases it when Neji got knocked out and says, "Oh, what's this bird cage seal, is it?" And says, "Yeah, Neji." Whimper says, "Yeah, the Hyuga clan head has put it on me." And Naruto says, "Man, how messed up." And Naruto says, "If you want me to, I can easily release it with one of the Uzumaki sailing scrolls." And then the clan head of the Hyuga says, "No, you can't. You don't have permission from the Hyuga clan to do it." And Naruto says, "I'm actually not from this village, so I could technically do whatever I want because the proctor hasn't called match." And so the Hyuga clan head says, "Call match, call match." And so again, the size says, "Keep going, Uzumaki-sama. I actually want to see if you can do it." And so Naruto does preparations and does Hitsutori and then go on and on. And then he says, "Hyuga clan cage bird steel release." And so then Neji screams out in pain. All the birds are flocking away. And then Naruto gives Neji a mirror and says, "See, got your seal removed." And Neji just sits up, shocked, and runs to hug Naruto. Says, thank you. What can I do to repay?" Naruto says, "Forget about that destiny. You can determine your own destiny, Neji. Now I released it, but show the main branch that you're not just a branch member. You are Neji Hyuga." And so Neji nods and then glares at Hinata's father. And so Neji's father jumps down and says, "How dare you? You've interfered into village affairs." And so Naruto says, "Okay." And the Hyuga cage bird's still stupid. And so Naruto says there's always another way to seal up a person's Byakugan, not mess them up. You can seal it. You don't have to get in the cage bird seal so you can control them. They're not animals." And then Naruto gets angry. And then people appear around Naruto saying, "Calm down, Naruto." And so Naruto calms down. And so times get to the Konoha attack. And so, actually, the Konoha attack wouldn't happen. Tsunade's there and Jiraiya's watching them. And Lord Third has watch the kid. And so it's now Sasuke versus Naruto. And so what happens is Sasuke's running at Naruto with his Sharingan active. Naruto sidesteps and then backflips in the air and says water style, water dragon jutsu, and Sasuke says fire style, fire dragon jutsu. And so they both clash. And so then Sasuke is doing in an intense taijutsu with Naruto, and Naruto is easily with Sasuke. And so then Naruto kicks off Sasuke and then says water style, twin water dragon jutsu, and Sasuke just jumps back, nearly dodging it. And then Sasuke charges Chidori and is running at Naruto. And so he's running full speed at him and saying, "Die, Naruto Uzumaki." And so Naruto charges up a Rasengan and then throws a Fire Raging Kunai at Sasuke. And then he dodges Sasuke's attack over him. And then he slams his Rasengan into Sasuke. Sasuke falling down. Sasuke very injured. Gets angry. And so charges another one Naruto's about to land. And so Sasuke is nearly about to stab Naruto in the chest. And then people get scared for Naruto's life. But then it poofs. It's a shadow clone. And then Naruto is behind Sasuke with 10 other shadow clones. And so Naruto jumps onto Sasuke, grabbing every single part of him with blades, 5 blades on Sasuke's neck, saying, "Sasuke, if you move an inch, you're dead." And then the proctor says, "The match is over. Naruto Uzumaki wins." And the crowd erupts and cheers. And so all the people that are not from the Leaf, of course. And so Tsunade says, "Well, he's more than Chunin level." And Lord Naruto says, "What have you done, Tsunade?" And Tsunade says, he hasn't even used his super strength." And so Orochimaru thinks, maybe if I get Shukaku, this could work. And so he nods at Gaara's proctor and says, Gaara's zoning leader, and says, "Plan still in motion." And so now Gaara is facing Naruto, and Naruto is hitting Gaara back and forth, easily getting past his sand defense. But then Gaara goes into his thing, and then Naruto's like, "What am I gonna do?" And then he thinks, "Oh, what's that wood cage jutsu?" But then Gaara gets out with his one arm completely sand, half transformed. And so Naruto thinks, "What am I gonna do?" And so Naruto is jumping, saying fire style, fire dragon jutsu, trying not to use a jutsu that his mom said that his father used. And so Naruto took out a scroll, and then it showed a necklace. And so he took out the necklace. It's Hashirama's. This necklace is to upgrade his Mokuton skills, refine them, you could say. And so this is to make his skills stronger. And so Tsunade is like, is he really going to do it? And so Gaara is into Shukaku now. And so Naruto says, "Oh no." And so then Naruto makes 10 shadow clones and says, "Uzumaki style, 10 barriered seal." And so then 10 barriers is around there. And so then Naruto says, "Wood style, whatever Yamato did to make Naruto stop." And so then Naruto punched Gaara and did it. And so Shukaku says, "You stupid Senju." And so now it's over. And so now Naruto is on the ground tired. And they said, Naruto Uzumaki, you have won the Chunin exams. And so Naruto smiles and passes out. And so the day after, Tsunade says, Naruto, you're Kage level. You took down the one-toed Biju. So you're currently Kage level, but Kage level in training. And so he has nodded. And so Tsunade's teaching Naruto, and Naruto just makes shadow clones. And so time skip to Naruto at 16. Naruto noticed that Sasuke has left, and Naruto asked the Kumo village offering to get trained in the Biju there, and they nodded and said, as long as you stick with Kumo in any wars and stuff. And Naruto nodded, and also bargain stuff too. And so Naruto gets trained by the Eight Tails, getting KCM, and he gets Toad Sage mode, and he learns from the apes full lava mode, so it's protecting his whole body. And the village has gotten way stronger, having 1,000 ninja, and they have tons of money and tons of business. And they also have a council and a ninja council. And Naruto knows that Danzo wants him. And so Naruto has identification for every single person there. And he has 7 ranks. He has academy students, Genin, Chunin, Special Jonin, Jonin, and then he has Anbu, and then Hokage's Anbu. So this Hokage's Anbu is like Danzo's Anbu, like the foundation, but it's not as brutal. It's people that are trained by the Hokage, which is Naruto and Jiraiya and Tsunade. And so this is to ensure that they're very strong. And Karin is in that, and she is great for that unit. And now there is the bounty hunters and the swordsmen of the Uzumaki clan, and it's called the 10 swordsmen of the Uzukage. And so they have made special swords like the 7 swordsmen of the mist, but it's the 10 swordsmen of the hidden whirlpool. And so they're known throughout the ninja world. And so the hidden rock has called war against Naruto in the whirlpool. And Kumo and the sand are with them. And so the rock has asked for a... they didn't know of this, and so they asked for to not go to war with them, basically. And so Naruto says with 1 million Rio, and so they paid it off. And so the Rock Village leader says, we're gonna have to go sneaky then to kill the Uzukage. But not they know they can't. It's basically impossible. And Naruto also pumped chakra into the water of the whirlpool, so there's high tidal waves, so it's hard to get by. But if you're Uzumaki, the tidal waves will give you like a passage through. And also their technology has gotten way better, having one of the best scientists in the world. And so they're more technological than a hidden leaf. And so now he heard that Sasuke left, and Naruto just says, feels bad, but he knew Sasuke was filled on revenge, and only revenge. And so Naruto is now getting ready, but then a person outside of the Whirlpool Village has appeared, trying to cause havoc. But then Naruto, Jiraiya, and Tsunade appeared. And this is uh Kisame and Itachi. And so they're like, oh no, we are not about to face no Kage level opponents. And so Naruto and Tsunade and Jiraiya chased them out with Naruto breaking Kisame's back in the process with a huge kick and almost breaking Itachi's rib cage, but couldn't. And so Naruto's now High Kage, and of course that's KCM, and Kisame and Itachi tells their leader that 2 out of the 3 Sanin are in the Hidden Whirlpool Village and stuff, and so they're not. And so Kumo has made war against the Leaf, and the Hokage currently is Danzo Shimura. And nobody knows of the Whirlpool Village. Only people know Naruto. And so Danzo can't do anything to Naruto knowing his strength. And Naruto had befriend Kurama now. And so Pain has appeared outside the Whirlpool, trying to do a planetary devastation on it. But then Naruto did a Biju bomb exploding it. And the barrier just made the rocks go away from the village. And so Naruto is in a heated battle with Pain. Naruto is currently winning, and Jiraiya is with him too, fighting. And so Naruto and Jiraiya go to meet Nagato after they won. And so Jiraiya cries at Nagato. And Nagato says, Naruto Uzumaki, I entrust you with my Rinnegan. I know that Obito wants it for his plan. And so then Naruto takes it, and then Naruto gets confronted by the Sage of Six Paths. And the Sage gives Naruto half of the chakra and gives Sasuke half. Sasuke getting in the Rinne Tensei after being Itachi. And so now Sasuke goes back to the Leaf, and Sasuke wins the war against Kumo, and Danzo gets taken away from Hokage, and gets executed by Sasuke. And I'm gonna say Kakashi becomes Hokage. Yep, Kakashi. And Sasuke Sasuke tells Kakashi, let's go to war with the Whirlpool Village. And he says, I want to kill Naruto. He's just a stupid brat. And Kakashi says, no, they're strong. And so Sasuke said, I don't care. I'm really strong. And so they decide to not go to kid. So Kakashi kills his sensei Kakashi and says, never listen. I shall kill Naruto. And so when he does that, he said, I plan war against Uzugakure, against the Kage, Naruto, Uzumaki, Senju.